Hey guys, how's it going? Back with another video today. Today, or at the moment, I'm sitting outside Tesco's, and the plan is for today is to basically take you through a plan or ingredients that I would be buying for a week's shop as such, under or around £20 anyway. So if, for example, if you are a student, it would be something very easy for you to afford on your week to week, because over the past number of weeks, I've been talking to a few of my friends who have actually moved away for uni, and they were saying about how they weren't sure what things to be banned or, things like that. So I thought that this would be a good idea to maybe make something that would be useful for people who are living away during uni, and especially with everything that's going on, it's not always the easiest to get out of the shops. So I thought I may as well make something then that you can all use and benefit from. So if you haven't already, please be sure to like and subscribe to the video. And yeah, I'll go and grab a trolley now, and then we'll get into the things that I'm going to be buying. Definitely got to keep safe during these times, so remember, wear a mask, keep yourself safe as well. So as I was saying, I'm going to try and stick to a £20 budget, but if I go over that, then that would probably do me for an extra week or so we'll see what we can get. So the first thing to get today are baby carrots. They're only £1, and that would honestly, with the size of them, 600 grams of 10, so that would do for probably about 3 days maybe out of the week if you're wanting to look for some veg in your diet. So the next thing I'm picking up are about 5 bananas. That should do for the next few days. If I'm using the smoothie or something, I really find these useful as well. They're also only 73p per kilo, so it's definitely something very useful that I would look to get if you're struggling to find fruit that's quite cheap, because you've got your strawberries and blueberries that might be £2. Okay, so the next thing I'm buying is these say-so potatoes as such. They're just cut into chips, so it makes it easier for me specifically. I'm not the biggest fan of potatoes, so I like to have those chips, and it's literally just cut from a straight potato with no added crap or anything to them, so it makes it better that way. Okay, so they had no 0% fat yogurt, but I've got now a wee low fat natural yogurt, and that was only 90p, and it's also 500 grams. Okay, so the next thing then is some bacon, because you need to get a bit of protein for your breakfast as well, so this is something that I normally have with my breakfast. You could go for turkey bacon or something like that as well, but that can be a bit dear. So for extra sources of protein, I've got some chicken and some burgers here. They're just beef burgers. I'm just going to throw them in. They're going to then help out with getting the protein in for the day, so they're going to be the dearest things roughly on the shop, because at the end of the day, not everything, especially chicken and protein and beef, isn't the cheapest. The next thing then I've got is chopped tomatoes, and they're only 60p for 10 as well, and in it you're getting 400 grams. I'm going to get a smaller bag of chili pasta. It's only 55p, but for the kilo bags, which I'll show you now, these ones here, there's a big difference there. They're only £1, so definitely would say get the big bag, because it'll last longer, and you might get like 4 or 5 days use out of it if you were to use, say, 200 grams a day, which is extreme amount as well. Okay, so I actually don't get this myself too often, but this is an absolute steal. These Heinz beans here in the pots are actually 30p per pot, 4 for £1, so it's definitely I'll get these and put these with maybe something as such as your bread, and then have beans on toast or something like that. Okay, so I'm not a big fan of tuna chunks, but these John West ones in spring water are really good. Just check in the back here for use if you're interested. There's 0.7 grams of fat, and there's 25 grams of protein, and basically 0 carbs in 100 grams, and in the whole tub you have a drained weight of 102, so you can basically see what you're getting on the back of the tin then. So it is something very good if you are into fish. I wouldn't be as such. I'm more into my chicken and beef, as I was saying, but definitely if you're into your fish and you like your tuna, then definitely get the spring waters. They're in just the wee green boxes. Okay, so the next thing on my list then is actually some bops, so they'll go really nice with my quarter pounders that they actually turned out to be. So yeah, there's 2 things you can put together as well, and then of course you've got the chips as well. So again, yeah, just big white bops then, just to go with my burgers. I'm gonna get a half pan here as well. These are only 80p or 90p or whatever they are. The full size loaves are about 150, 155, so you're maybe saving 5p by getting a full loaf. But at the end of the day, if you're the only one that's eating the bread as such, and you were to have say 2 slices a day, then you're getting 5 days, so you know, there's only 2 days out of the week where you're not getting maybe bread, but even at that, with all the rest of the food, you might want to have something else a different day. As you've seen in all my videos recently, one of the main things that I've been eating are these Kellogg's Cocoa Snaps as such. And then there's 375 grams and they're only 69p, which is, I think, amazing. And the reason I get these compared to, you know, say your normal Cocoa Pops or whatever is because they're packed roughly around the same size. They're $2.99, so you're realistically saving yourself, you know, £2 and $2.30 even, you know. So it just makes sense to maybe even get 2 of these a week, you know. But no, I don't get these Cocoa Pops anymore. But yeah, these are the ones that I'm going for. But yeah, the big thing is as well, I just want to say, if you're going to go for cereals, go for the own brands in Tesco's or wherever you'd be going, because it will be so much cheaper as well. Another thing that I would get, but I don't need to get today, would be porridge and things like that. So if you could find something like your Quaker Oats, that'd be something really good. The good thing is at the moment they're on offer for £1.10 if you have a Tesco Club card. So if you haven't already, I'd actually say sign up for it, because it's actually going to save you money. Like your Ben and Jerry's ice cream and all, like you're going to save yourself money on that as well. Okay, so one of the last things when we picking up the shop then are some eggs. These 10 Sikia, or however you're pronouncing big eggs anyway. They're 184, so this will do me for 6 days, so the majority of the week, and it works out then worth it, you know, because if you're dividing, you know, the 10 of them by, it works out to be about 18p an egg as such. Another thing I swear by as well is one of these summer fruit drinks. I know some people might find it hard sometimes to drink water, so by adding just some of this dilute in, it makes it really effective as well. And when you get down to a certain point, you can just fill up the bottle with a bit more in it as well, so you're getting a litre and a half of just juice in as well if you don't like your water. But then again, you might like your water, so you can maybe just save yourself £1, because that's all these cost as well. Just want to let you know about these crispy chicken tenders as well. They're actually not bad for macros on them. They're 11 grams of protein, 12 fat and 16 carbs, so it's not the highest protein, but at the end of the day you're still getting a good bit in. And you know, sometimes if you don't have enough money to maybe get like the proper chicken, then these things might be the better thing to get. Okay, so there's a club card deal on again at the moment. So the Halo Top, which can only cost a fiver, is down to £4. Sometimes you actually get good deals on it and it's down to £3. At the moment there's some Ben and Jerry's, which I haven't picked up, as I prefer Halo Top, which is actually down to £3. So you might prefer that. So there's some variation of things like that you might look for. But yeah, so if you're in Tesco's, have a look out for things like that, because these can come in as nice wee treats as well. Okay, so that was overall a successful shop. I got mainly everything that I wanted within a good price range as well. I'm going to take the stuff home now, and then I'll go through more of the stuff with you then, and maybe some things that I would change or do differently from week to week. Okay, so I'm just home with the shop now, so I'm just going to take this out and talk you through it a bit more. Okay, so I have everything lined out here. Over to my left side here, I've got everything to do with my protein sources, and as I move across, I've got more of my carbs, and then there's just fats around everything as such. Obviously with student diets, whatever, you're going to probably get a good bit of fat in from other sources, so I tried to go for things that are going to be higher in protein and in your carbs as well, to keep you going throughout the day. So as I was saying, I've got my things like my rice, or my Cocoa Pops as such, my bananas, then I've got, you know, my bacon and things like that. You know, there are some things that have higher fat content than other things, but there's not much you can do about it. But again, it was more about trying to get things for a cheap price that would more or less last me for a week or so. And I think I've found things here as well. The only other thing is as well though, this isn't like what I would get every week as such. There would be some differences. So there'd be some weeks where I'd maybe get things such as my rice cakes or egg fried rice just to add in. And of course then every once in a while I'll be getting sauces as well. So these are just the main things that you would maybe look to buy as well. And it was all for a really good price. It was all under £25 as well. The only other thing I would want to say as well, depending on your calorie intake at the moment, where that be say 3,000, 2.5 or whatever, it's obviously going to then depend on how quickly you're going through foods. So if you are eating a lot of calories, then I would maybe say to try and go for, you know, higher dense calorie foods, you know, so you could be looking at things with more oils in them and more fats, such as, you know, cooking oils or olive oils, things like that. That would be a good way to maybe, like when you're cooking your bacon as such, just to throw a bit of olive oil on the pan, because that will help you then get in your calories as well, rather than maybe using like your fry light stuff. That would be another thing as well. There's different parts of the chicken you can go for. So obviously I've got some chicken breast here, but you could maybe go for chicken thighs. And as well as that, I've got natural low fat yogurt here, but then as well, there's things like Greek yogurt and other types of low fat yogurts. As well as that, then one of the main things that I would say as well was these chips here. These are literally just cut from a potato. So there's machines that you can get now do this, but I just buy these for handiness. But then again, if you are maybe needing more calories or something like that, then maybe actually just buy, you know, some chips out of the fridge and or freezers in Tesco's, because then that's another way of getting in more calories as well. And obviously, you know, you've got your beans, but then there's obviously higher fat foods as well. So just have a look around for that, and if there's anything that you're maybe interested in asking me, then just drop it into the comments as well. Okay, and just one other thing I want to show then is actually the receipt there then. So if you can see that there, it'll say that it cost me $23.90 altogether. So I'm very happy with that, and that was also because I had some Clubcard discount. So you can obviously see why it isn't a bad thing to invest in. Although it was only 50p or something like that I saved, it's still better than not saving anything at the end of the day. Another thing that I would say to invest in would be some protein and creatine if you have a bit extra saved, as it's really helpful. And as well as that, you can use your protein. So I have natural chocolate and white chocolate at the moment, but I'm waiting on a few more coming. But anyway, the point is, I'm just trying to say is that having this can help you supplement a bit more protein into your diet, which is what people need. And obviously I have tried anyway to add as much protein into what I would buy, but then obviously this will just help you get that little bit extra that you might need. Anyway guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I also hope as well that you were able to take something away from it, or maybe even try it out yourself, the new diet, if you aren't eating the healthiest, and let me know what you think of it. But yeah, if you did enjoy the videos, please be sure to like and subscribe, and until next time, goodbye.